I want to kind of go over with you guys and give you an update on the current class that I'm going through. My name is Giovanni, and I am a junior at Southern New Hampshire University online. And I want to make sure that this is applicable to people who are working and kind of trying to understand if this is the right school for you. So let's kind of go through things. First of all, this is the grades that I'm holding in this current class. We always start with that. And then we kind of break things down piece by piece as we go through far as the grades. So as you can see, we are well down into what will be, even though here, this is showing things all the way down to week 2. I just finished up week 3, and we'll kind of get into that part. I was pretty surprised that this class right here, the discussions are key to grade wise. So in this case, the professor, if you have been following me for a while, you'll notice that SNHU changed their online system, and it's not bad, but this is the new system. So the way that things kind of flow through are kind of, they condensed it over in this side. So if you are looking at this and going, it looks different than it normally does, just understand that's where that's coming from. And so as you're going through your weeks now, okay, and as I said, I'm finishing up what will be week 3, going into week 4. The way that this class goes and that I've noticed anyway is just how important these discussions are. So normally I go through and I do a lot of like pictures and stuff like that, but I kind of slowed that down as company stuff was I was having a lot of issues with trying to keep up with that and also doing schoolwork for work. So just understand, like, if you get in some way kind of like behind and things, you can't keep up. So a lot of this, like when he did this right here, I was like, okay, they have to give some feedback. They now put the feedback right inside of the area where you're having the conversation. You used to have to go to a separate site to get your feedback. That's some of the changes that I noticed in the new setup. But that's one thing in this class that I do think is key, is that you're looking at what your assignments are. The assignments themselves, when you get the feedback, you're going to be using TestOut. So as you can see here, you're going to be using TestOut. We have talked about TestOut in the past, so this is no different. When you get ready to use TestOut, you're going to have, in this case, I believe it's like 6 classes that you're going to go through, and you're going to be using TestOut for that. So don't sweat that issue. I do think that you need to make sure that you focus when you have discussion posts, make sure that those are done. A lot of the work, and I just want to show you that, a lot of the work for this is, how do I put it? Standard for SNHU, but different. This class, if you've never done anything security related, this class might be a bit of a challenge. So one of the things that I would encourage you to do, this puts out your info on TestOut, like what you're going to need to do. And if you've never used TestOut, TestOut is great to make sure that you understand what you're going through. They have quizzes and things like that to make sure that you understand the work. Now, one thing I found interesting is that we had to use these resources. Now, if you're somebody who kind of goes through and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to breeze through all of this stuff, I'm telling you not to in this class. And the reason why is because he's going to have you go through one of these things in the class to figure out what you're going to pick. For example, NIST. Okay. So if you decide, like, these are frameworks. Okay. And if you're going through and saying, hey, I want to look at NIST and understand NIST, then you need to make sure that you are actually reading through this part, because I actually had to come back through it. I typically breeze through these and then get through what I need to get through, but I actually had to go through and read these. So make sure you focus on that. Okay, let's move along to the next part. So this discussion post that you have, the first one, like I said, make sure that you focus in on what he asked, because he is Now, I don't know if it's just the specific instructor or if it is the way the class is designed. Just make sure that you're focusing in on what they ask for and giving the responses accordingly. Now, this quiz, pretty easy. If you know anything about, at least this particular one was pretty easy. If you know anything about security, that won't be an issue. The project one rubric, because you're going to do this in your second course when you're going here. Now, this is the way the old system used to look. And when you get ready to go here, it'll kind of pull you through like the old system and then take you back to what the new system will look like. It was just kind of strange. I was like, oh, okay. So this is what we're going to keep going back and forth here. But anyway, go through here. This looks like a lot. Okay. These go pretty quickly. I had already did TestOut Security Pro, which is this. So if you don't know what TestOut is, it's going to look like this. You're going to log in. I already have a login for school, and then you're going to have your stuff. You're going to go in, you're going to do your exam. So that's really what it's going to be. So I would not necessarily focus in on that part. TestOut is not very difficult. Once you figure out how TestOut works, it's fine. Now, this portion right here, you have to answer questions. And so if you are answering questions, those questions are going to be based off of, let me get to the part that I think you need to know. So you open this up. This right here is a long prompt. So what I thought was interesting is they started doing these as prompts now. So what that lends to is if you're putting this into some type of system to pull out keywords or things like that, that prompt, they gave you what to enter. So that was quite different. But when he says what to submit, this is the information that you need to submit. And you also need to make sure that you pay attention that your submission should be 1 to 2 pages. Double spaced. People reach out to me separately to ask because they wanted 1 to 2 pages and they were doing them single space. So make sure that you focus in on that. Again, not anything new here. When you get through this, this is going to be easy for you to do. You'll get through this pretty quickly. If there's any questions that you have, I know I kind of ran through that quickly. But what I wanted to do was quickly get this out of my head and into a format so you guys can use it. This is week 3, which we're going through right now. What I'm planning to do, if you've made it to this part inside of the video, then you can please leave a like and a comment, or at least just an emoji inside the comments that you made it to this part. What I'm planning to do is to get back to doing my videos on a weekly basis when I finish up my work. I've been doing the work so quickly or doing it on a Wednesday and making excuses for not getting you guys the content. So that's on me. I'll take that and I'll run with that part. But that is all for this video. If there's anything that you wanted to know that I did not answer about this specific class or the program, or that, you can ask those inside the comment section. That way everybody is aware of it and you may ask a question that somebody else has. I appreciate you staying to this point and I will check you guys later. Bye.